Is that your bed?
Do I have to get in my bed?
Yeah, you gotta get in your bed.
Bedtime
Oh god.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's like really hard to maneuver around in here.
Go ahead, it's okay. There's just a lot of visual.
Exactly.
Do your camera.
Oh yeah. Sorry about that.
Can I get up please?
Yeah, come on.
See if you're not hopping off. Gotta get down here. Gotta act this out. You ever read Cosmo?
Yeah, I have one down there.
You read this one yet?
Oh, I don't know who's on the cover.
It's the deep seduction story.
Oh no, I found it. Sorry.
Oh, word. Kirby Farrell's new B&B ski lodge opened to the warmest winter in Vermont's history, and she doesn't have a single guest. That is, until the morning the gorgeous Brett Hennessy rolls up on his motorcycle and books a room. In his leather jacket and sexy tee, Brett doesn't exactly look like the outdoorsy type. Not only that, but Kirby can't shake the feeling she knows him from somewhere. The first night. Brett helps Kirby cook dinner. They talk for hours and Kirby feels serious chemistry. But she notices that Brett avoids talking about himself. Curious, she does a Google search of his name after he goes to bed. She finds out that he's a famous poker player from Vegas. Kirby wants to ask what brought him to her tiny inn on the East Coast, but it seems obvious that it's a private matter. Not wanting to scare off her sexiest and only guest, she resolves not to say anything. Fix up. Kirby was drinking coffee in the kitchen when she heard someone swearing in the back of the B&B. She walked into the foyer and found Brett crouching on the other side of the new screenless porch door. "What are you doing?" she asked. Brett held a roll of mesh in one hand and clutched his back with the other. "I came down to get water. I saw the mesh of the porch and thought I could cover the door." "You really didn't have to do that." "I know," he said, his expression tight. "Just trying to help out. But I scratched my back on a nail that was sticking out of the wall." He turned around and pulled his t-shirt to reveal a red line running across his broad, muscular back. "How bad is it?" she asked. Kirby took in the side of his bare skin and swallowed hard. "I have band-aids in the kitchen," she said. "Follow me." In the kitchen, Kirby opened a cabinet and grabbed the first aid kit. When she turned around, Brett was standing just inches from her. She realized for the first time how big and tall he was. And she found the desire surge.
Oh god.
Playing to score. Brett pushed his hands through her long blonde hair, then slid them down her shoulders, grazing the outer sides of her breasts. His mouth moved slowly down her neck. Kirby ran her fingers up and down Brett's back as he undid the buttons on her shirt. Before unclasping her bra, Brett flicked his tongue over the sheer material. Kirby cried out, and Brett slowly peeled the now damp, flimsy fabric from her skin. She gasped as he closed his lips over her bare breasts, and he moved lower and kissed her stomach. When he unbuttoned her pants, Kirby felt her knees go weak. Brett's own low groan of appreciation as he tugged her pants down her hips had her splaying her palms flat against the wall to hold herself upright. "Yes," she murmured as he sucked her. Her lips moved with him, establishing an erotic rhythm that could drive her over the edge. Not wanting to be over yet, Kirby put her hands on his shoulders to stop him. As if reading her mind, Brett said, "I'll be right back." Lust in the kitchen. Kirby nodded, and he hurried off. A few moments later, he returned with a condom. When he pushed off his pants, Kirby paused to marvel at his unbelievable physique. His member was thick and erect. And Kirby took the condom from Brett's hand and rolled it on. Safe. Then she wrapped her arms around his neck and tilted her face to kiss him again. Brett gripped her hips and pulled up her thighs, urging her to cross her ankles behind his back. He hiked her up further until his face was even with his. Then slowly he slid down the wall, taking her with him, and onto him. Kirby gasped as he entered her. "It's okay?" Brett asked. "Very," she said. He grinned and kissed her, lifting her hips away from the wall so she could control the movement. The kiss was broken when Brett leaned back onto his hands. He arched his hips and drove deeper into her. Kirby held onto his shoulders, her head leaning back in ecstasy. They found their rhythm and Kirby felt the momentum build. Brett leaned forward, pressing her head against the wall and burying himself deep inside her. His breath was hot against her neck. She took her mouth in his own, and the sweet release hit them at the same time. Makes sense. Kirby gripped Brett's shoulders so hard, her fingers cramped, and she cried out his name. As the breathing slowed, Brett said, "Hold on." Kirby tightened her legs around him and...
It's named Kirby?
Kirby?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a female name. Yeah, like a video game character. Kirby tightened her legs around him, and he turned so she could lay her down on top of their discarded clothes on the floor. Then he settled beside her and drew her to his chest. As her racing pulse slowed, Kirby found herself again wondering about Brett. She wished she didn't care, but when his fingers began to stroke her back, she felt her heart being squeezed. And she knew if they kept this up, even for just a little longer, it was going to hurt like hell when he left.